Money doesn't just come from one place. It drips, trickles, flows, and floods into our lives in different ways. Welcome to Drip, Trickle, Flow, Flood, a podcast that explores the power of multiple income streams. We've got merch. That's right. Drip, Trickle, Flow, Flood t-shirts are officially here, and they're as comfy as they are conversation starting. Grab yours at the link in our show notes. All right, we are so excited to have Brooklyn here with us today. She's the marketing and business strategy manager over at Hardware Sales in Bellingham, Washington. And this is a company that Tony is very, very familiar with. My husband is as well. It's a great, great local business. And so we're excited to get to pick your brain a little bit here, Brooklyn. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, Brooklyn. The other day can't quite remember what I was buying. Actually, I can. I was buying some PVC pieces for a yard game I'm making up. And I bumped into your dad, Ty, and he was telling me about all the different things you have going on there. And I was like, man, you should come on the podcast. And he goes, no, I think Brooklyn would be the person to come on the podcast. And to give people a description of Hardware Sales, it is a hardware store that literally has, I don't even know, you probably know how many items, but it's just packed with everything you can think of. These narrow hallways, there's employees running around that are just super knowledgeable, can help you with, and it has just grown over the years, taking up more of the neighborhood, buying up property, carrying more products, doing rentals, all these things. And now I know that, you and the team are even taking it to kind of another level. So why don't you talk about how the company got started and, kind of where you are now?
Yeah, well, we started back in 1962. My great grandparents started the company. We actually we opened in the building across the street from our current building. And our name was Powder Sales. We sold dynamite, and then that was kind of our origin story. We sold them to the loggers and the coal miners. Then from there, we kind of got into doing, I think I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, military surplus. And then my grandpa kind of took that when we got out of doing like military surplus and the dynamite game. We bought the building across the street. When we moved in, we changed our name to Hardware Sales. And that's when we really got into like cable and rigging and industrial hardware. From there though, I guess lots has changed since then. So obviously now we are the hardware store. We have our rental department, we have our service center, we have an industrial sales team, and then we also have our internet division, which is called Onkata, where we're a brand management company and a third-party seller on Amazon. So that's kind of where the company is today. And to circle back on what you were talking about earlier, we have 50,000 items in our inventory in the main store, and we now take up 7 city blocks.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a
Wow.
situation where it's hard to describe all of the things that are in the store. And it really is, it's the spot where contractors know to go, but then, it's homeowners love going in there, and it's like a community feel where you're seeing the same people for so long, employee retention. And, that's why, again, the knowledgeable thing and all those things. And I've grown up, I mean, going there literally my entire life. And so, yeah, you have 50,000 products. Why don't you talk a little bit about the gamut of what you're carrying today? Because it's changed since the dynamite days. But it's also, I feel like it's changed even recently. You've been kind of reimagining what the store can be for the current world.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it kind of ebbs and flows with kind of the way that things are going, but I will say most of our customers are going to be like contractors. It's probably like 60% contractor customers, 40% homeowner. So we try to cater to both. So obviously, we're going to have this, that, and the other thing. And we're like, contractors can come in, they can go to the plumbing department, the electrical department, our cable shop. Like, We have so many departments. I would be here all day if I listed them all off. But we've recently been expanding like our garden centers. Like we just started selling plants, and we're really just playing around with like different ideas of how we can do things better. Like what can we start selling that we're not, that might open the door to new customer demographics, just different things like that, which we're always tossing around new ideas and kind of like throwing something at the wall and seeing what sticks and just trying out new things.
That's really cool. Now, you have obviously a huge built in business because of all the pedigree over those years, right? Like so many locals, both contractors and homeowners. But now it sounds like you are expanding the income streams there, which is amazing. So, talk about like some of the challenges of that because you being the marketing person, I'm sure a lot of that rests on you to figure out how to reach these new audiences. So being a business that, is so ingrained in the community here, but now trying to expand out of it, doing some things on Amazon, et cetera. What does that look like? And talk through a little bit of the challenges there.
Yeah, so we didn't really do any marketing when I took it over. I kind of built our marketing department up from the ground up. When I started doing it, like when I think I was in my senior year of college, and I started doing like our Valpak flyer. That was like the one thing that we did. So we kind of started doing more things, which I've been kind of building it up over the last few years. But there is a lot to advertise, which is kind of like the crazy thing. What I've really leaned into is getting involved in doing our own events and really getting involved in community events. Like I will say probably not all, just because there's a lot of events that happen in Bellingham, but most of the big events that happen here, we've tried to be involved in some capacity. Like we just worked with the Northwest Tune Up last week. Um, we help do all their fencing and supply a lot of the needs that they use to put the whole event on. And we're actually doing a barbecue competition on August 1st, which is going to be really fun. I'm very excited about
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah. All the competitors are local construction companies. So that'll be really fun. We have 6 different teams. It's called the Maxed Out Barbecue Competition. All the proceeds are going to charity. It's just like we're trying to make it like a very fun day or like surrounding the construction community. Just like have fun on like another level. It's like they're some of our best customers, but it's also like, let's have a fun day and I'll just hang out and eat barbecue. So I really kind of leaned into just like making it fun and getting involved with different companies and just kind of being everywhere, if that makes sense. But then also I really leaned into doing a lot of things on social media. I've redone our website, I think twice now. We have a third coming, which is going to be a big undertaking. We're actually in the middle of getting all of our products in our system redone with updated descriptions, um, just all the different product characteristics. And we're going to go live and have every single one of our products online, which we've never done before. So that's very
Wow.
crazy. We've just been kind of slowly elevating and just like doing all of the different media streams to just kind of get us out there, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
It does. And I'm so curious, what does like social media look like as a strategy for you all? Given that I think when I think of when I think of social media, I don't necessarily think of construction there, although it makes a lot of sense. So what's been kind of the strategy there to draw? And is it more geared toward the homeowner there? Or is it the contractor, a mix of both?
It's definitely a mix of both. If you've ever if you go to, like, our Instagram account, I make the weird well, I work with, my digital team that I work with Joico, and we make the funniest, weirdest, most lighthearted videos ever, just, like, some of them, like, we made a video which we just posted this one a couple months ago, and it's still getting, like, comments on it because it's, like, so, like, cringy that it's, like, hilarious. Like, we just do, like none of our videos are, like, very serious. They're all just like, "Oh My gosh.
Thing now. Oh, this one, yeah. So this is really clever. Okay, so you're doing like a lot of more like meme, fun parody videos, things like that to capture attention. That's really cool. I never thought about that for this type of business. So
Yeah.
that's pretty genius.
We're very goofy and lighthearted and try not to be too serious. I like to think like I will try any idea, however weird it is. And if it works, awesome. At least we tried. If it didn't work, whatever. But like we've done some pretty strange, random like things on social media, and usually like our customers love it. So it's just kind of like I just try to be as authentic as possible.
So was the plan always, so what did you go to school for? And then was the plan always to work in the family business?
Yeah. Um, as long as I can remember, I always was like, I want to do what my dad does. So I went to business school. I got my degree in business management. Uh, I graduated. When did I graduate? I think like 2024, maybe somewhere in there. But yeah, I graduated from Western, got my business management degree, came straight here, and I kind of started building our marketing department and among many other things. I do a lot of random tasks.
That's the story of a family business. Wear all the hats. So talk about how, I mean, I know that it has been a strategy to grow, but talk a little bit about just like diversifying the income of the business over, the years and where you're headed in the future because, the construction world is a roller coaster and,
Mhm.
the market has ups and downs. And so obviously your business has directly impacted that. And when I had the construction company, the whole thing was try to make it as level as possible so that your world's predictable. So how is that diversification of income streams? How are you managing that and creating that? And how has that worked over the years?
I will say my family in the past has been very good about diversifying what we do and kind of having those different revenue streams. I mean, so we have the store, and then we have like which is walk-in customers, contractors, and then we also have our industrial sales division, which is like our team that just caters to those large construction companies. Then we have our rental department, which is just a whole other revenue stream on its own, which the rental department has been huge. Um, Before rentals, we also had the office furniture division, which kind of shut down as like we got more into the internet age. We also have our service center across the street. But I mean, the biggest one out of all of those is definitely our internet division, which we kind of got into that very early on. Which we started out just selling things third party on Amazon. That's kind of transformed into this brand management company that we're doing now. Where we're like taking on brands like we just signed Diablo Tool, we manage Spyderco knives, so we manage their brands on Amazon and we're selling the product for them as well. That's probably been the biggest thing for us. Right now, we're not so focused on creating new revenue streams, more so refining what we do to make it as efficient as possible. We have looked into one new revenue stream we have looked into is doing we're looking into a lot of private labeling right now, and we actually just made our own trademark. So we can have like our own private label brand and we can start getting things in with our name on it. And then we're also looking into start doing buy online, pick up on store once we get our new website up, which eventually, once we get that dialed in, we're also trying to make it so everything that we sell inside the store, we can also sell online on our Amazon account. So we'd kind of be connecting the two biggest parts of our business, which would be really cool. That's kind of our pipe dream right now.
That would be really cool.
Hmm.
That's a very interesting revenue stream as well. So, what does it mean when you say I'm not as familiar with like Amazon or Amazon affiliate? I do TikTok shop, so it's a little bit different. But what does it mean when you say you manage a brand on there?
So basically, Amazon can be kind of hard to deal with. What we do is we make kind of like their platform and we make it so like if there's somebody else that's selling like their brand and they're not a verified seller on Amazon,
Mhm.
we will do what we can to get them kicked off. So we are like the only seller. So you're getting all of the sales for that item. And we're just making their account look as good as it can to just try to boost sales and put them to the top, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense. So they're coming in, they don't have that experience. And like you said, it can be tricky to work with Amazon. So you're coming in with the strategy of here's how you're going to set that up. And do you manage it for them as well too, or just do all of the setup?
I do believe so. I'm not super well versed in this part of the company. It's pretty separate, and I work here at the main store, but they do pretty much, I think, everything. So like they're the ones that's like they're selling the product, they're putting it into FBA, and like they're doing all of the things. Um, and yeah, which the people that we have that work in our internet division, they are the coolest, smartest people. I swear, like they just like knock my socks off. They're awesome, and like sometimes like they're so smart that it just goes over my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know what it is that they do, but it's just like they're so good at what they do. It's pretty cool.
So how many
Well,
people work in the company?
Um, on average, I want to say we usually have around 150, but that can kind of go up and down depending on the season.
and it seems like you have a lot of this rests on, as you said, like your amazing internet division, but you also have amazing employees across the company as well. Um, I know that's not exactly your job to do the recruitment, of course, but what would you attribute to that? I mean, is there anything special that you all are doing to attract great employees or, anything or retain, obviously, because you're doing that piece as well. So what would you attribute to some of those things?
I do think we kind of have a little bit of a culture where everybody like they like their job. They some people will come here because they're like, "Oh, I want to work at hardware sales." Like, I just love hardware sales. But it's almost like kind of when you get like kind of that little like a sour apple, they kind of just weed themselves out. Like, it's a pretty good culture here. Everybody's pretty happy, and usually when you have somebody that's just not really fitting in, they're kind of a Debbie Downer. They usually just don't end up working out one way or the other, but I will say our HR director does a great job of finding amazing people, and we try to treat our people right, that way they do like to stick around.
Yeah, and there's something to I mean, there is the culture, but there's also the community aspect. I mean, there's been people that had worked at most area construction, decided that their bodies weren't holding up for construction anymore, and so they went and they transitioned to hardware sales. So they were knowledgeable. They still got to be in the world that they like. They still got to, kind of exercise that creative mind. That's why a lot of people like to do construction. And so
Yeah.
they're not necessarily on the job site, but they're solving the problem in the hallways when people come in and say, "I have this issue. How do I solve it?" And they go, "Okay, come with me over here and we'll work through it." And it really is. So I think that is one aspect of it. And then, yeah, I mean, there are people that, I mean, there was one woman in particular that, oh, she retired maybe a year ago, maybe 18 months. I can't exactly remember.
Are you talking about Diane?
Yeah, same spot every day.
Yeah,
Talk to me about whatever. I don't remember, except for the last 18 months of my life, her not being in that spot. And,
yeah.
and then there's been people in the back, and just like all these people that just years and you walk in and they know all the questions to ask every contractor. They know all the things. They know
Mhm.
everybody's name. And so talk, I mean, obviously this is something that obviously the culture has been built over decades, but what has your family done to cultivate that and make that experience so important?
I do think that my family's always put a big emphasis on treating employees like family too. Like, we're usually pretty understanding, like, if you need help, we're there. Um, you just kinda I mean, treat people right, treat them like family. I know way back in the day, we've kinda gotten away from some of this, but, like, my nana, every employee on their birthday got a birthday cake, which I know they did stop doing because there would be days that there was, like, 4 birthday cakes, and they were like, "This is too much cake." So they've kind of gotten away from that, but it's just treating people right, showing them that they're valued and that they're important. And I think we've always tried to do that. Like, we do a lot of different employee appreciation events just to show people that we care and we are there for them when they need them, when they need us. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think you can go pretty far from just treating people right and letting you know how valued they are.
Well, and then that translates, they're happy, and so then that translates to the customer. So why don't you talk about customer service a little bit? I actually just text Melissa this week saying I wanted to do an episode on customer service, because I actually just had a very good experience with some customer service while doing a real estate transaction with a title company. But so often now, I just feel like the people that I'm interacting with, they don't want to be interacting with me. So how do you have people there excited, smile on their face, you know? Yeah, what's that process?
Genuinely, I feel that a lot of people here, like, they like what they do. They love helping customers and they can make it fun. Like, I know some of our employees, they'll make like games. Like, they'll pick like an item and they'll be like, I'm going to sell 5 of these today. And like, I think they kind of make it fun for themselves, but I think they also just really love our customers and they love helping them with their projects, finding out what their projects are and kind of like putting the puzzle pieces together to like how to get them there. I I mean, I love I don't get to work with customers as much as I used to, but it is so much fun. Like every now and then I'll pop down on the floor and just getting to like help them find what they need. Like there is just something very gratifying about that. Sometimes though, you do get new employees that aren't like they're so knowledgeable, they're amazing, but they're not people. And those people usually don't work out just because you do have to have that bit of customer service. It's someone you can't just be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna help you." That doesn't fly.
And for reference too, because we have a global audience for this podcast, so not, most of our listeners are not Bellingham specific. So for reference to everyone, this is a Bellingham hardware store, amongst other things. We also have a Home Depot and a Lowe's here, right? So, I mean, there are a lot of things you're going to have to do to stand out from those places. Now, some people just want to shop local and they have the experience and the relationship with hardware sales. That makes sense. But beyond that, I'm curious, like, what do you think helps you stand out from some of those bigger box retailers who may be competing on stock or price, et cetera?
My dad refers to it as white glove service. He's like, as soon as that customer walks through the door, like they shouldn't make it like 5 feet in the building without being asked if they need help. Like we make it kind of a priority. It's like customer comes first, everything else comes second. Like as soon as you see them, can I help you find something? Like just right off the rip, like they shouldn't have to ask.
That's a great point because, man, when you go to Home Depot, you are definitely chasing people down, trying to get help. So and I've been to hardware sales, and that is true. Every time you walk in, you are asked immediately. So that's a really cool, um, almost like just simple way of everybody knows what it is. You walk in and you know you're going to get that greeting and be asked for that help immediately. So I think that's awesome. I love that
It's
white glove service term too. That's great.
Yeah. It's so funny. We got like a Google review like last year and it was like a 4 out of 5 stars and they were like, "Yeah, I love hardware sales." But they're like, "Man, it's kind of annoying getting asked if I need help every 5 feet." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "You don't like that?" I'm like, "That's what we're supposed to do." And that gave
So,
everybody a laugh.
yeah. Okay, I want you to think of, what do you think the most random product is that you have in the store?
Um, I'm pretty sure we still sell this. We have I think it's a type of baby powder, but it's called anti-monkey butt.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's a good one. Um, we have so many random things. Like I would probably say just, like, off the top of my head, because that one always makes me laugh whenever I see it.
Yeah, I think, and I would have to go up there and check, but I'm pretty sure last time I was upstairs, there's still like kerosene lanterns up there.
Yes.
It's like, how many of those could you possibly be selling a year?
You know, weirdly enough, a few. Like, I've asked this question before, and they were like, "Yeah, Brooklyn, we sold, like, 2 last month." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. My bad."
Maybe they're hard to get other places. It's like other people aren't stocking them. So it's
I swear, as soon as you discontinue something, you have a customer coming in that's like, "Where is this thing?" And it's like, "We just discontinued it."
that's true. Maybe it's like a vintage quality too. It's like in my day, we always go and buy that. And then it's not
Mhm.
available anymore. And then you want it even more because of the scarcity. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, it is crazy, like, there are certain things that are very like that, that, like, I remember one it was, like, 2 years ago. We hand out calendars every year after December. I think we start, like, December 1st maybe, and I order our calendars, and I had just taken that on, and I didn't order like, they're, like, these little calendars about this big, and I didn't order our sticky calendars because we ordered, like, 5 different types, and I was like, "We don't need to do 5." So I was like, "Let's just get rid of this one."
Oh.
It was so bad. Like, the Bellingham customer base were not happy with me.
I can
And I
tell
will
you that
never do it again, I
the
promise.
hardware sales sticky calendar has was on the dash of our, we just called it the white truck. It was like, flatbed dump truck. Always. Somebody would get that thing and stick it on there, fresh one every single year.
Yep,
So so
yep.
we've been talking about a lot of the positive, how your family's done this obviously for decades, but talk a little bit about the challenges, like having a family business, having a local business, having 100 and some odd employees, 50,000 products. Like, this is not, I'm sure, all sunshine and roses.
No, unfortunately not. It is a lot. I mean, I love hardware sales, it's amazing, it's a joy to be here every day, but there are, like I will say one thing that's a challenge is we have 50,000 SKUs. It's very hard to keep track of 50,000 SKUs. We also grew so fast that it's kinda like we were buying up buildings to fit our needs. So it's like we didn't like, for our warehouses, I think we have 10 different warehouses. It's not like we had all these warehouses and we had a plan of where things are gonna go. So it's like we might have one department that has items in like 3 or 4 different warehouses, which is a challenge. And having to reorganize 10 warehouses with 50,000 SKUs is kind of a daunting undertaking that we just haven't done, which this can be difficult. And that is one like current thing that I will say is challenging for everybody on our team, and it's kind of like we're so old that it's like adapting things to the new ways and making things more efficient can be hard because we've been around for so long, things were done a certain way, and as it starts evolving, you have lots of growing pains, which is we deal with, and it's fun, and we're making things better, but it can be a lot.
Is all of your staff working in person or do you have remote workers?
Pretty much everybody works in person.
Okay.
Yeah, primarily. We also well, we have, one of our internet shipping warehouses is in Indianapolis, and we have employees that work out of there too. But primarily everybody works in person.
Okay.
I think there's a couple exceptions, but very few.
So you've seen this world your whole life. What do you think the future of, I mean, obviously you see the future of retail is online and that sort of thing, but what do you, the in-person, in-store, what do you see the future of that looking like?
Um, well, I do think we're always gonna get customers coming in because we kind of are that resource to the community. Like when you are doing this plumbing project, but you don't quite know how to do it, so you come to talk to Kevin in the plumbing department, and he tells you exactly how to do your project. But I have noticed we've talked about this as a team. It's the younger generations, they're kind of more so like they watch a YouTube video, they want to come in, know exactly what they need, and they want to know where to go sometimes on their own, and they don't want really help from people. So I think it's more evolving to where people can do more like self help and find their way through the store on their own, making, if that makes sense, or even doing like BOPIS like we're trying to do. Kind of making it a little more automated. I think people kind of come in, they know what they want to get in and they want to get out sometimes. And it's kind of shifting more so like that in recent years, I've noticed.
Do you think that's just a culture shift in the people? Because I mean, obviously, people in a lot of aspects are more isolated than they've ever been, spending a lot of time online. Obviously, I was just talking to some of this the other day. Like, you literally could never leave your house if you wanted. People will bring you anything now.
Hmm.
So, I'm also seeing like this trend towards people wanting to be out in real life and interacting. And you were just part of the Northwest Tune-Up, which has been growing like crazy. And you see these World Cup stadiums and viewing parties, and it's just madness. And now you're doing more events. You got the barbecue thing. You always have your Father's
The
Day thing. You've always had things. You think there's an element of, yes, have it set up so these people can come in, buy their stuff, and go home and do their project, but also re-envisioning the store as like a place where people will come gather?
Yeah. Yes, that is part of it. I think it's making it like an experience and a place that people want to come, like come visit your local hardware store. Like you're gonna come talk to this person and that person. Like you see them every time you come in. But I think there is a big aspect to it of making it an experience, which is important. Like having that fun, different, like the thing that sets you apart. Like the reason that you're not gonna go to a big box store, if that makes sense.
I mean, this is maybe a few months ago, I bumped into a buddy that I hadn't seen in a long time, and neither one of us was there to even go into hardware sales. We were both getting burritos in the parking lot. So I feel like it is a place. I mean, obviously I come from a little bit of different experience that I've been going there my whole life, so the odds of me bumping into somebody I know is highly likely. But I feel like people want to bump into someone they know or maybe meet somebody new. And so I don't know. I think it's exciting that you're kind of rallying around the community and rallying the community to this space, whether it's for an event, whether it's to, I mean, frankly, stuff is so expensive right now. To be able to come in and talk to somebody and then be able to go do it yourself, I mean, there's a lot of value in that. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think that it's interesting to me. And that was part of why I really wanted to have you on is, um, that I can see, I've seen for, the changes over the years, but I can see the things, you walk in and there's, you've got cans of beer there now people can buy, and it's just like, it is a place where people could, come in for more than a reason of just buying a hose clamp.
That's kind of, I mean, that's kind of been what I've been trying to make us more of a part of the community, making us a little more fun than just your local hardware store, which of course, like we've always been like that place that you bump into your buddy, right? I can't tell you the amount of times that I've heard somebody go, "Oh my gosh, hey." And it's like it's so funny just like seeing people like just getting stuff for a job that they're on and being like, "Oh my gosh, funny seeing you here." Like
It's
it
kind of cool because, that concept of the third home is so big. And it's honestly been pretty big since COVID as well, because everybody's wanting to get back in person more and more. And really, hardware sales does serve as that in many capacities. You're bringing the community together for events and things, but it is also what you said, where people are like happening to meet each other there. They're like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I also saw this video the other day. There was a food, and you brought up the food truck, so that's why I'm bringing that. Or Tony brought up the food truck, but there is a U-Haul parking lot that had a food truck in it. And they were serving coffee at night. It was like a coffee shop at night. And it was filled with people. And they were like, it was so fascinating that this like random U-Haul parking lot is a third home now. And so many people are so excited to go because it's like the coffee shop. You're all meeting there, and it doesn't matter that it's like not an indoor nice place, right? It's just this random lot. So I think that's kind of cool that you've created this space and are continuing to do that to draw out the community. And it's a fun place they can go to see their friends or people they haven't seen in a while. It's pretty genius.
Yeah. I mean, my grandpa and my dad and all the rest of our family, they've done such a good job of just like, we're your local family owned hardware store, like, period. Like, you come in, you're going to get treated like family, you're going to get that white glove service, and like, that's it, you know? Like, we're going to do our very best to help you with all of your projects and all of your needs. And they've done a really good job. I mean, like sometimes I think back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine having to like build this from the ground up. I don't know how you did it.
Well, and there were
Yes.
some, I mean, I know there were some rough times in construction. I'm sure there were some rough times at the store. I mean, we have gone through periods of time where there was not a lot of building going on. And, you got to get really creative. And I think that's, adaptability, I think is, customer service is probably hardware sales number one strength. And then I think adaptability might be number two because I honestly didn't even know till you just told me that you used to sell dynamite to the coal miners, which is really, really cool. There's a pretty neat history around here about the mining and all that and logging and stuff. So,
You have to do an article on it, Tony.
oh, that's a
Like you
great
should do a
idea.
history article on hardwares because that, right? Because then you can tie it into the history of Bellingham. What
Yep,
was the mining history? Bring
I
hardware
like it.
sales in.
Okay, hopefully
Like,
all of my editors, obviously they probably listen to this podcast, right? So,
there's the pitch.
yeah, get ready. There's a pitch coming.
Pitch is coming. Well, Brooklyn, I have one last question for you. I mean, we talked a lot about all the wonderful stuff that's going on there. We talked a lot about what your family has built, what you've helped to shepherd. But I'm curious from your perspective because now you're growing in many different directions. So hardware sales is like a true drip trickle flow flood now, right? You have all of these different streams of income internally. So you're the marketing person, you're the manager. That is a lot on your plate. I know because I'm a marketer as well. Um, and we get that question a lot from our audience is like, I would love to do this where there's multiple streams of income, but that makes my brain frazzle and feel like it's torn in 80 different directions. So, what advice would you have as somebody who needs to manage the marketing for all of these different streams that are going on? And how do you like keep that straight for yourself?
Well, I will say I'm lucky. I don't do anything on the internet side. They have like their own marketing team for that, but as far as like the retail store, rentals, industrial, and our service center, I will say I'm really lucky because everything's very seasonal for us. So we can push different things for what is kind of needed at certain times of the year, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I like to kind of think of it as what's trending, what's relevant, and just kind of go where it feels like it's needed, if that makes sense. Or even just like evaluating the full picture that's like, what kind of needs a push right now, if that makes sense. But also, I also won't push things unless I think they're ready. But I kind of just, I don't know, I guess go with your gut. Go
Yeah,
where
no,
you
that's good
feel is
advice.
right.
Yeah, that's good advice. And you're going with the gut. And then it sounds like you're also working with trends and holidays and seasons. So that's
Yeah.
giving you like some insights, obviously, that you can track from previous years.
Mhm.
And also, I mean, I assume, are probably bringing like a different generation of marketing too, meaning you're up on social media and you understand what works, which is evident in the Instagram with the funny videos. So that's
Yeah.
another cool thing that you're able to bring to the table.
I also think it's really important. Like, obviously, not all like if you're a marketing manager, you're not necessarily working with like people in these departments. But if you are, like, I get my whole team involved. Like, I get their opinions. I'm like, what do you think would work for your department? Like, getting them involved and like actually giving them kind of some ownership over it, like it makes it fun. They're having a good time and you're getting more of a full picture too, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's really smart. That's very cool. Well, thank you, Brooklyn, for you shared so much good wisdom with us today. I love it. And I love everything that you're up to over there at hardware sales. I mean, big fans. We're all big fans on this call.
Yeah, well,
So go ahead.
Brooklyn, before Melissa does our sign off here, I want to give your dad some props. This is probably a year ago. I was in buying some hose. I threw all of my hoses away because they were just like, you know, cut, pieced together, kinked, all the things. And he goes, "You got to buy that hose right there. It won't kink up on you." I'm like, every hose kinks up on me. Just whatever tie. I'm like, okay, you say so. I'll buy it. That hose goes to our cow water, which I have to move every time we mow. I have to throw off to the side. That hose is unbelievable. I just turn on the faucet. That thing flows every single time. So I want to give your dad props on pointing me to that.
Is
That
it
hose.
is it the bright yellow
Yeah.
green Flexzilla hose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was even on sale. He's like, "You got to get that one." I'm like,
They've
"Okay, if you
made
say
them
so."
they have made them even better, believe it or
Really?
not. They now have like this little tip at the handle so it like swivels. So even if it tries to kink, that it just like it like
All right.
literally can't kink.
All right. I'll come buy another hose.
There's my sales pitch.
I
It's
need, to
not
come in, I need to
available.
come in and buy a weed eater anyways. So I'll get
It's
a
not
hose
available
also.
online because I'm like, maybe we should link to that for all our guests.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Give us a few more months to get our new website up and then we'll see.
Okay. Everybody hang on. We'll do an update in a couple of months when the hose is available and we can link to it for y'all. Well, thank you so much, Brooklyn, for joining us. We really appreciate everything that you shared today. And if you like this episode, please rate and review on your favorite podcast platform. That helps us to reach more folks who want to get their drip, trickle, flow, flood going. And we'll see you next time on the podcast. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Brooklyn.
Oh, thank you.